stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Whoa, look at that Tesla go! That's a Model X. So, back to back, you can see the Kymco Exciting and the SH150. Very different bikes, as you can tell. I mean, the size of the Kymco is just so much bigger. But I think the SH is a little bit better designed, I think. Just so much easier, like just looking from the back, which has nothing to do with the bike itself. It seems like a lot of people like the maxi scooters, but it is so wide. The seat is so comfortable. This one, you definitely can tell that it's not as comfortable. It's been dropped. This one's been rashed, and I think that's the reason I got it cheap, because you know, once a bike goes down, it loses a lot of its value. At least that's what a lot of people, that's their mentality. But I mean, this bike is extremely comfortable, except that seat is so soft that it makes it a little bit harder to ride for long periods. The seat is definitely not as comfortable as the Kymco. This bike does very well in most conditions. It feels very thin, and I like that a lot. You know, the Kymco just feels really wide. It's like it's as if the Kymco was made for a fat ass, and this one's a little bit more of a elegant ass or something. Hey, you know, one of the things I really like about this bike is that it doesn't call any attention to itself. And if you're doing, you know, kind of hooligan stuff, which is kind of odd in a scooter, this is what you want. You don't want to be like standing out. It can do all your errands. I do wish, whoa, do you see that? Look at that. That is a problem with the tire. I think the tires are getting very worn, but it doesn't make any noise, or hardly any noise. I don't understand why anybody in their right mind would want a scooter with that aftermarket exhaust that the guy put in the Kymco. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good, I guess, if you're riding in a sports sort of style. A lot of people wonder, it's like, oh, but aren't you worried that somebody might think you're a wuss? Honestly, I didn't get into motorcycles to tell people that I am like some sort of He-Man. I find that where you go with a motorcycle or scooter is the really important thing, not really what kind of bike you're riding. Just the environments, it seems like a 150 like this is more than enough. I don't find, oh, a little backfire there. Yeah, I think if you like the sport style of riding, a scooter like this is not for you, because it doesn't give you like that oomph that a motorcycle would. You know, if I get on my 10-ray, I can like do wheelies, I can like just go around corners fast, give it gas. This one, it's a whole different mentality, and I think like when I see a lot of cruiser riders, they like to cruise. I think this is a much better cruising type of bike. I think a lot of people are just not interested in the scooter life because they think somehow it's a feminine, you know, bike, and they're trying to showcase their masculinity with a motorcycle. I don't know. All right, we're gonna do a creek crossing right here. All right, okay, this is, I don't think I can make it over to the other side. I just wish there was the option for a kickstand. You can barely hear it. There's some vibration coming from the top box. So it's a pretty good looking scooter. I like it a lot. So here's what happened with the previous owner. You see the rash from being dropped. I don't think there's much point in trying to fix that. What is that, a scooter? What is that? Oh, that's a car. Who cares? So this part looks pretty beat. The previous owner dropped it. This must have been rashed pretty badly, probably even cracked. And he put like some sort of patch here with some tape. Looks really ugly. And now when you see it in direct light, it's probably hard to see in camera, but there's tons of, I mean, he did not do a good job painting it at all. Look at the swing arm. You see all of the paint? I mean, God, if you're going to paint it, at least mask off these parts. So there's all this paint, and in the SH right here, there's all this paint. So I'm going to try and remove it as much as I can, but getting a plastic like this is probably not worth it. I can probably remove it, repair it, put it back in the bike. This one seems to be just as difficult to maintain as every other scooter. So to remove the tire, I'm probably gonna have to remove the shock, definitely the exhaust. But look how small this little tiny coil, and look, it's progressive. So I don't know if that's something that is stock, but it needs a good bath as well. But I like how empty it is. Also, I'm seeing some, seems like oil over there, so I need to see if it's leaking any oil. It's got a new oil change. The oil is very clean. The plastic is faded right here. I'll probably try and get this back to speed here. Passenger foot pegs, but this is how cool Honda decided to style them. So they're very aerodynamic, and they just kind of tuck away because I think they realize that you're going to be carrying a passenger on occasion, and in America you're probably not going to do that very often. But I like the larger wheels. It increases the stability a lot. Kymco does have a Kymco People 200 and 300, and they have the larger wheels. So, but I like how exposed it is right here. All of this is nice exposed, so it makes maintaining it a lot better. Also, it's got a handbrake or a rear brake. You push this really hard, and then you push this back, and it locks in the brake. So if you want to release it, you just kind of push it, and it'll go back. But the guy really butchered the plastic. I really need to. A thing that annoys me is the bag makes a lot of noise while riding. I think it's closed, but it's got plenty. This is a Honda factory thing, and you kind of need this on this bike because the underseat storage is so bad. I mean, there's really hardly any space here. You do have more of a recess here for the seat, but I find that's very useless. A really good scooter for the type of riding that I do, you know, just gangsta, you know, sneaking up on people, you know, that sort of stuff. This one is pretty good too, so I'm not complaining. You know, a lot of people hear me criticizing bikes and they think, oh, you hate this bike, why did you buy it? Well, you only hate it and you only start to learn about it as you ride. But I don't hate it. You know, my Super Tenere, I don't hate it. The Kymco 500, I don't hate it. But, you know, one of the problems with, like, owning bikes is that the owners, it's as if, like, they have children. The bikes are children. And if you make a comment about a bike that they own, they get very upset. But my thing is that I try to remove myself from any possible feelings of being hurt. So if you were to say something about my bike, I wouldn't be offended. And look at this, he even has a little tape here from painting. So, and he got paint all over the fork. So this is a project for me. I was hoping not to have a project, but it seems like my life lately is just tons of projects and just trying to make some money on bikes and cars. So it probably wouldn't kill Honda to put something here to attach a phone or GPS. 2010, I think we had phones then. You know, one of the things that is severely lacking in scooters is good suspension. And I've only ridden one bike that had really decent suspension, and it's usually a Yamaha. So this was a Yamaha T-Max, and it was a very good handling motorcycle. That maxi scooter had tons of guts. You have to have some major money to live in these houses. I mean, this is like off a golf course area, so you know these people are banking probably what, $5,000, $6,000 a month for these houses. Yeah, I think probably like $5,000 to $8,000 a month, or probably more. I don't know, man. I'm not very good. On a motorcycle, I'll do 200 miles and not even bat an eye. But on a scooter, like a 200 miles, that's a 1,000 mile ride. You know, there's this video that I really like, and I think it sums it up well for scooter riders. It's guys that drive crappy cars have huge dongs. If you look it up, it's really hilarious. It's these girls ogling this guy coming in like an old beat up car. And that's kind of like the way I feel about scooters. I've told you guys this before. Riding a scooter, it's like as soon as you leave your house, especially on a 50, it feels like an adventure. People that ride scooters smell good.